soon as there's a change in the wind, screams, funny noises, I'll be gone.
Oh, don't be so optimistic.
Welcome to Ghost Town. So I came across this game while looking for new VR horror games to try, and I figured with a free demo, why not give it a shot? Now the title of this video is a little misleading because I wouldn't classify this as a horror game, more of a spooky atmospheric game. But in all fairness, I saw 2 ghosts and 0 towns, so they lied to me first. Fireproof Games here is not trying to scare you. They're trying to tell you a story and build a world. And let me tell you, they nailed it. And by the way, this is my first time trying something like this, so if you have any advice or any commentary, particularly when it comes to my mic, please feel free to let me know. I'm always looking for ways to improve. So the premise of Ghost Town is that it's 1983, middle of the Cold War era. You are Edith Penrose, a witch who's employed by the UK's Ministry of Defense. Now, I did some research and I found that the Ministry of Defense is a real thing. However, the United Kingdom is fictional. What sort of work you perform for the MOD and what magic you can do, the demo keeps it vague. It's a very soft magic system. I assume it's some sort of Hellboy situation where the government keeps a bunch of weirdos on payroll and the funding's made out to etc. But you're able to see dead people and you have magic hands. Now, I want to take a second and talk about these hands. Odds are, these are one of the first things you're going to see when you start the game, and the developers took full advantage of it. See, when you load into a VR game, exactly how you're going to figure out who you're playing as can be dicey. I've played VR games where I still don't even technically know what character I was controlling. So your character's body is actually a really important tool for the developers to communicate part of the character knowledge to the player. So when you look at these hands, they are a font of knowledge. They let you know 1, you're a female character, 2, you're into some Wiccan occult stuff, and 3, this character was probably too cool to have sat with me at lunch. Also, character design like this, such as VR hands, can potentially give you insight into some of the developers' thoughts on the gameplay. So for instance, the VR hands versus arms debate. When you play a VR game, most developers will either give you full body arms or disembodied hands, and the distinction is a lot more relevant than you might think. For instance, full body arms are more they're more real, but they rely on a larger range of body tracking and they have a lot more opportunity to go awry. And when it does go awry, you get those wonky spaghetti noodle arms. This can really take you out of the game. The word of the day is proprioception, the knowledge of where your body is without having to see it. Now, when you take away the arms and just have some floating hands, you lose a little bit of that psychosomatic feeling, but you lower the risk of cooklinguini arms. And in VR, immersion is key. And that goes double for a game that's trying to sell you on the world rather than its gameplay. This logic is also backed by some other dev choices in the game that we'll talk about later. On a personal note, I feel like this is the better choice because I think we're developing this mental blind spot for VR arms, like how your eyes can always see your nose but your brain just filters it out. I think the same goes for your arms. I mean, how often are you focusing on your elbows when you reach for something? And hey, if it's good enough for Valve, then it's good enough for me. Okay, tangent over. So, back to the game. The demo offers you 2 of its available levels, and one of them is the tutorial. You'll walk around, take in the sights, hear some insights, solve some puzzles, and talk to enigmatic persons. Dugan is awesome. You gotta love a grizzled sailor. You have an inventory system where you'll hold key items, get hints if you're stuck for too long, and a little blurb system where you'll get some flavored text and directions if you've forgotten what to do. Oh, and your flashlight. As far as video game flashlights go, I'd say this is middle of the pack. It's infinite, but not super strong or necessary so far. The inventory is a good segue to talk about another issue the game has. And I put quotes around issue because it depends on your perspective at least. In this game, the only interactable objects are your key items that go in your inventory, collectibles, puzzles, and other necessary game objects. Other than that, no random items to pick up, no doors to try, no touching. No touching! Now, this is an interesting choice in 2025, because normally a lack of random interactable objects is a way to date a VR game. You know, from back in 2016 when this generation of VR was new and we were just happy to shoot zombies. So 10 years later and Ghost Town makes this bold choice. My best guess is that it's a similar reasons to the hands. The devs want to keep you invested and immersed in the story. That's a little hard if you're just trying to lob trash into the other characters' faces. However, I think the devs take it just a step too far with this. They will actually put a sign in your face if you wander too far on stage, which is obviously like one of the first things I want to do when you get up here. This is the only place it happens in the demo too. Other places, they do pretty good at using the environment or other geometry to stop you from going off path. They put all this conscious thought into keeping me immersed, and then they pull the visual equivalent of a foghorn in front of my eyes. It's an oxymoron. Hey, we really want you to believe that you're really existing in the story, but only on our terms. I know it's a small thing and it only happens the once so far, but I feel like this is an easy fix. Either just block me off like you do everywhere else, or let me wander and use the story to direct my attention to where you want to be. If you have the right sounds and visuals, you can easily direct my attention exactly where you need it to be. But no yellow paint, please. So the demo gives you just enough story to get hooked. Edith and her brother, Adam, start off exploring a rundown theater where the rumors that the ghost of a deceased actress is haunting around, refusing to move on. Thespians. You notice that Edith and her brother have very different attitudes regarding the occult. Edith takes it very seriously, while he's cracking jokes. So you explore the abandoned stage and finally manage to summon the ghost. Now this is an important moment because holy shit, ghosts are real? This is news to the player, not to Edith. Good exposition. The plan is to exorcise the ghost by appealing to it with a newspaper declaring that the new actor that's replaced her was terrible. That's hilarious because the schadenfreude is real. But it turns out that the fact that ghosts are real is also news to Adam, who interferes with the attempted exorcism. So not only do we find out that he's never seen a ghost, we find out that he might not even have powers like Edith does. Also, does he sound a little bitter about her abilities? Sure that's not important. Side note, I love the scene design for Edith interacting with the ghost world. I really enjoy media where the entire environment changes and the characters start dealing with the supernatural. So we get a time skip and it turns out your brother's disappeared and Edith is off to some location in the middle of Scotland in an off-the-books mission to figure out where he went. She travels to a mystically hidden item where a witch named Angela Abbott is either held captive by the MOD or just doesn't care to leave, depending on who you believe. Now this is definitely the first real set piece of the game and it is gorgeous, even on my terrible rig. A misty island in the middle of the North Sea, a giant lighthouse, government successfully harnessing occult magics. My recording isn't doing it justice, it's all great. This could literally only be improved if they had a way just to spray ocean water in my face. I don't think seagulls are carry-on feeders, but I don't know enough about them to argue that. So you finally meet Angela and she's just an innocent old lady with an ear for gossip. Definitely not an evil witch, but so she's here on this magic island with the MOD agents making semi-constant visits. Something's not adding up here, but we don't really have enough clues to figure out what. But either way, she knows something about her brother, so we need to get on her good side. Uh-oh, the lighthouse power went out, and we're tasked with putting it back. See, now I thought I had figured out the play here. I was gonna go up, fix the light, come back down, and Angela would either be gone or make her move, and boom, demo over, and suddenly I've got to buy the game. But I was ready for it, so I wasn't ready to be disappointed. But we go up into the lighthouse, and guess what? Tower of Terror haunted. Awesome. I can't wait to see how Edith is going to deal with a spontaneous haunting that she's not prepared for. Also, how does Angela deal with this? Does she just live with the ghost? But guess what? Demo over. Right here, right before some real action. They got me. They actually intrigued me more than I ever thought. Well, the game is out, and I'll definitely pick it up at some point, but my finances aren't where they need to be, and I have some other games that I've already paid for, so I'd feel guilty if I kept that backlog increasing. But either way, this is definitely a good act in VR immersion, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. So this is my first try at a video like this, so please let me know if you liked the video or if you have anything you think I could improve on. This is my first try at something like this, so let me know if you liked the video or if you think there's any ways that I can improve. I've always wanted to try making videos like this, and I think obscure VR games are a pretty untapped market. I've got some other ideas in the barrel, full games, not demos, so let me know if you want more of this. Until then, that's pretty much it.